The new Storm started out hot, but cooled off in the fourth quarter and ended up with a loss. Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Sports Show, where we love Seattle pro sports. I'm your host, Mikey, and today we are here to talk about the Seattle Storm and their opening game of the season and how it ended in a loss, unfortunately. Before we even get into this one, we will mention Nikki Muhl, our rookie that we drafted, who did not get to make her debut in this game. Unfortunately, because she is still having visa issues. You know, she was here on a student visa. She's got a job in America now, and for whatever reason, there's been issues getting that changed. And so she wasn't able to play in that preseason game, and now she was not able to play in this opener. Hopefully, things are straightened out by Friday, and she can play in our next game, which happens to also be against the Minnesota Lynx. We just lost to 70-83. And I guess the other thing I should mention before I go on, because you're going to hear it, my voice is obviously not really completely back yet. I still have like this horrible cold. I went to the doctor. It's some sort of like upper respiratory virus I have, I guess. And at least I'm able to get on here and record. I had to record it. It's the first game of the Storm season, right? I didn't want to miss it, and I definitely wanted to talk about it. So let's talk about it. They started out hot. Like I said, I've been kind of teasing and nicknaming them the Seattle Superstorm, right? And my goodness, they looked like it in that first quarter, especially, and parts of the second and third quarter as well. It was just when they came into the fourth quarter and nobody could hit a shot for anything that it really started to broke down. This was a fun game to watch. I mean, for most of the game, the Storm had never led by more than 5 points, and the Minnesota Lynx had never led by more than 5 points, and it kept kind of going back and forth. So that was a lot of fun. And then again, up until the fourth quarter, where the Storm absolutely lost the shot. Nobody could hit anything, and you could tell that it affected them mentally, and they weren't able to recover because their defense also broke down when that happened. And that kind of, that's what led to the 70-83 score, where this was a close game throughout, and then you ended up losing by 13. Yes, you lose. You're not hitting your shots, but the defense broke down as well. So the Lynx started getting some easy shots there in that fourth quarter. So that's something that they're going to need to address and bring up. Like, hey, everybody needs to stay in this game mentally all fourth quarters, no matter what struggles might be happening in any part of the game. But again, let's look at these numbers. Debuting for the Seattle Storm for the first time, Nneka Ogwumike had 9 rebounds today, 2 steals, and 20 points. So, yep, she's still looking like one of the best bigs ever in the game. Ezzy Magbagor today, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, and 15 points. Love seeing that line from her, and I expect we're going to see a lot more of that now that she's got Ogwumike playing next to her. Like I said, that was something that we were really missing from last year, and this is really going to help Ezzy out. And I just expect her to get better and better with some more stars around her now, especially another big star next to her. Skylar Diggins-Smith also making her Storm debut today. 1 rebound, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 10 points. And she was definitely one of the players that you could tell her struggles started affecting her overall game, especially in that fourth quarter. You could tell she was frustrated. You could see it in her body language, and it definitely affected her game. You could also see this with Jewel Lloyd, who today had 10 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, and 10 points. Again, that's not something we expect to see from Jewel Lloyd. I mean, at one point, she was 0 for 13 or 14. She missed like 13 or 14 shots in a row there at the end of the game. And we don't expect to see that. Again, if she would have just hit her career average, we would have won this game. But she didn't even get half of that. Just did not have her shot today, couldn't find it. And that happens. I don't expect that to be something that happens very often. And you could kind of see that across the league here in the first games of the season. We saw Brianna Stewart, didn't put up big points today. We saw Caitlin Clark really struggled in that first half of the game, and then was able to bounce back and end up with 20 points. But a lot of big stars in the first game of this season, had a little bit of struggles here in the first game. And you know what? It's the first game. It can happen. I don't expect that this is going to be something that's consistent for Jewel Lloyd. She's just been too consistent at scoring big points throughout her career. Okay, Victoria Vivian, she did get the start. As we saw in preseason, she had 4 rebounds and assists. Didn't put up any points. She played 22 minutes. Now, like we said, maybe she would be the starter because she is the veteran. But it would be exciting to watch Jordan Horston and her development. And we got to see that. She actually played 23 minutes. So she played, 1 more minute than Victoria Vivian's, even though she was coming off the bench. And she looks good whenever she was in the game. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and 8 points. So you love to see that. Now you could tell. Again, she didn't get, she had an offseason. She's dealing with the shoulder surgery. Still a lot there to develop in her game. A lot of passes that were not great that were turnovers, right? She had 3 turnovers today, and all 3 turnovers were, they were pretty bad. It was like, oh no, that was not what he should have been looking for there. So, again, just something to work on there. Mercedes Russell today, she came in, had 3 rebounds and 7 points. Again, another nice big to come up, having off your bench. Kiana Williams, Sammy Whitcomb, and Dulcie Finkham Mejadayu, they all did get to play at least a few minutes each. None of them contributed any points. But for this team in general, I think it's so much better than what we saw last year. You could see all the potential and the improvements that were made. It's just you ran into a brick wall in the fourth quarter where everybody's shot became completely cold, couldn't hit anything. Then they got frustrated, and then it broke the defense down. And that's all something that they need to address in practices over here the next couple of games. Over the next couple of days before the next game on Friday, again, who we're playing against the Minnesota Lynx again. So we're going to see this team again right away. So make adjustments quick, and let's come back and beat this team. Who's another team they're going to be one of the best teams in the league this season as well. So it's good test and competition for you right here to begin the season, going up against one of the other top teams with some of the other top players. Let me know what you thought about this game. How much fun did you have watching it? Let me know. Do you think that they can get this thing turned around by Friday? And hopefully we'll get to see Nikki Mule by Friday as well. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. If you're a podcast listener, follow, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating and a written review because it helps out the show. And thanks for listening to the Seattle Sports Show, where we watch Legends Awaken. So take cover, because with the sea of sound, you will see us rise to reign supreme and win forever.